We are Avatar from Gothenburg, Sweden. We've been growing up learning how to play together. So, yeah,
It's difficult.
Yeah. We're starting to learn how to treat each other well by now. No, but we've been around for, I guess, 10 years now, and we did our first debut album when we were around the age of, I guess, 17, 18, maybe 19 years old.
Yeah.
And right now we're up to date with our fourth album, Waltz. And I guess we're doing the final tour promoting that one right now here with the Avenged Sevenfold and Five Finger Death Punch. Well, it all started, mind you, way before the movie.
Yes,
like I said, we've existed for 10 years.
Yeah.
And what we had there is when John, the drummer, he was, I guess, 14, 15 years old and was in school. Mm-hmm. And they had a class about religion, and they read about Hinduism, and that is the origin of the word avatar. And that means basically it's when a god comes down to earth in the shape of a human or animal, like a god in disguise, so to speak, a manifestation. Okay. And that was this idea of being a god in disguise. It was something that he thought was pretty cool then. And it still fits the whole idea of what we're doing, because it's, in the end, working the way we do, it's always about looking for hidden potential in yourself. So that's the origin. It's been really good, actually. It's like, I really feel that that's the loudest store ever. That we got the band revived with this album. We were really down mentally after the work we did on the third album, but we feel we really got revitalized, both musically, artistically, and also in the eyes of people with Black Waltz. So it's been a good, soon to be 2 years with this one. It's been really great. No, this is not a concept album in that sense. It's, I guess it becomes conceptual when it's like, I tend to write 99.9% of the lyrics, and it all comes from, my personal background. Yeah, exactly. But also, but I basically just write when I start working on the vocals and, the lyrics and all that. I just go with what the songs tells me, the images the songs create and stuff. So it's no more conceptual than it comes from the same five brains, all of it, Well, if you think so, then it's okay with me. For me, I rather, and I hate this answer because it sounds so pretentious. I know, but it's like this. I think I rather just say metal, because we didn't really set out to play in a certain genre. We are inspired by lots of things, and what's really cool about all of our idols, usually, I don't know, let's say Black Sabbath or Judas Priest or, for examples in metal, they didn't know that they did something called that in the beginning, and they just created something that felt fresh and unique to them, I think. And there was no real agenda on doing something specific and tied to a culture. So we tried just to be as vital as our heroes were when they came out, and started. So I just call it metal. And specifically as a death metal fan, and I do love death metal, I don't really see us as being a death metal fan. A death metal band. Carcass is death metal, Obituary is death metal, Cannibal Corpse is death metal, Vader, that's death metal, and I love it. But we are inspired by that a lot. There are big death metal influences what we do, and sure, it's melodic, but it's I feel more groove and riff oriented in a way that doesn't necessarily remind you so much of, bands from our hometown. Oh, sorry, I hit the microphone. Honestly, no. I love them all for different reasons, because this album, we always thought that we did our albums from the heart, but this time with Black Waltz, we really got the bullshit out of the way, and this really came from the heart, so they are all there for really good, valid, personal reasons. Now, I could mention that I really feel extra pleased for some days, maybe with the lyrics on Use Your Tongue or Paint Me Red, for instance. It's stuff like that, but otherwise, no, I really enjoy the album as a whole, I must say. I'm sorry, it's a boring answer, I know, but it's all I got. Well, that is one that really came to become what it was because of the learning process we were going through, realizing, you know, the groove makes the riff. You know, you have to have the right groove, the right beat to make a good riff. Imagine if you know, if Iron Man would Black Sabbath would have gone like down, 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 it would have sucked, right? You know, it needs that that groove, that beat makes that riff the best riff ever. And we were starting to learn this. We were messing around with this dunk thing, but it was way more complicated. But then, you know, we got this straight beat going, and suddenly the song became from nothing so big and epic from that, basically. So we played around with that riff for a while, and Jonas wrote that. Then we had the verse riff. I wrote that one for a whole other song, but we never managed to do anything with that. So we stole a riff from ourselves, threw it in there. Match made in heaven. And then the epic parts was just because, fuck it, we want an epic part, and I want to, you know, it's fun to dub yourself doing choirs. It's good for your ego to hear yourself like 64 times at once, you know. So that was just having fun with it. And again, this just instinctively following the song where it needs to go. Yeah, I think so. You know, I take great pride in what we've done in the past as well. You know, the first album is like, it always is this, you know, the greatest hits of the demo years, you know. We had all these songs when we were kids. And, contract, oh yeah, well, let's run with that. And, you know, and gather the songs we have, 2 weeks in the studio, bam, 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 bam. Yeah. And playing some really tricky stuff, and I'm really proud of those songs and that we were able to pull it off at that age. Mm-hmm. And then the same goes with Schlacht, you know, we just made it faster, more intense, more crazy. And then I kind of feel with the third album, that is self-titled, I take great pride in many of those songs still, you know. But it's, as an album as a whole, it's very obvious to me that we were really looking for something and we weren't quite there yet in many of those tracks. And I think we found it in Black Waltz, simply because now we just finished recording our fifth album. Yeah. We were in Thailand doing that, and I feel like that is a continuation of Black Waltz for sure, because I really feel that we found our own little path to walk down now in music, and we have lots to explore. Yeah, more or less. Things still always change. We try to never... I guess there are bands who, you know, they figure out their sound and then they, you know, repeat themselves, you know, stay true to their idea. But for us to stay true to our idea is to never write the same song twice, you know. So there are, I guess there are actually a bit of more extreme elements. It's one of those, you know, where some stuff got more extreme and some stuff softer, so it's bigger contrasts. But the coolest thing to me is that we did it live this time. We spent 1 week in a studio. We started out, we said we were going to record drums there, but on the plane over, we got drunk and watched a documentary about Sound City Studios. It's a thing that Dave Grohl made. Did you see it? Did you?
Yes, with the Foo Fighters.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, and all these people talking, play live organically, play live. And you sit there and drink on the free bar on the plane. And, yeah, or organic, let's do that, you know. So we like, snap, decided to do it all live. So all the drums, rhythm, guitar, and bass is played together as a group. And, you know, we turned off the click track and let it become a little bit more fluent. But that just helped the groove so much. And really, really, we sound like a band in a way we have never done on an album before. So that I think is the biggest difference. We went to Thailand and spent in a studio called Karma Studios. Really great place. Really, we were treated frankly like rock stars, and we're not used to that. That's usually not what we do, being metalheads, not rockers. And then we were there for a week. Then we went to our producer's house down there that it rents from this horror movie fanatic. So it's a house of horror basically. It was to do the vocals, solos, you know, clean guitars, all that stuff. And and that was just a fun place to be, you know, to jump into the swimming pool between takes, you know, and so it was nice. I guess it's all of the above, actually. Yeah. No, this really started not by accident, but by chance. We were done recording Black Waltz, and we were looking for a visual concept, looking for an album cover and all that. And one idea we had was me to stand in a lake of fire. but we wanted a real lake and real fire. So we needed help from a guy who was a pyro guy who was crazy enough to want to do this with us. That guy's name was Bryce Graves, and he has this sideshow, freak show group thing going. It's called Hälsopoppen. And he was in Sweden for a little while, he's American, and did this with us, and then he showed some other tricks, you know, a screwdriver through his head, you know, eating glass, doing all this crazy stuff. It's like, that's perfect for one song we got. We should make a video with this guy before he leaves in 6 days. So we were really in a hurry. And so we did this with him and some other people, and they did their performance, you know, circus, freaky stuff that fit very well with the song. And we just needed, you know, I had to walk around there and sing the song, you know, because that's what you do in a music video. And we needed to figure out a way for that to make sense visually. So we just, scary clowns, you know, why not? Scary clowns are awesome. And we tried, and it just clicked with us, you know. It really was as if we found home in a way. I definitely did. I became so much more naked on stage and was able to express the music in a way I didn't realize I could before. So it really brought something out in me. And then, yeah, Clockwork Orange is a great movie. I love Kiss, I love King Diamond, I love Norwegian black metal, I love circus, I love clowns, and I love scaring people. So yeah, sure, why not? Why not? It's like, yeah, I didn't, you know, there have been bands painting their face before me, of course. But the reasons I do it is just as personal as their reason to do it. You know? It's been mind-blowingly great, really, because things went pretty stale for a couple of years now for us in Europe, and we haven't done like a real tour through these parts of Europe for like 4 years almost, I guess, or at least 3. And now finally we get to come back and do something, and then we get to do something this big, you know? And it's really cool also that the audience is a bit younger than it's been on other tours, and that to me means a lot, because I remember it's very different to go to a concert when you're 15 years old and when you're 27, you know, queuing in lines. I saw the kids out there, you know, in queue already early in the morning. I've done that, you know, and it means so much. It becomes so much more real to play for the kind of people who play right now. So that's been really, really, really great. And I hope we're teaching them something about mosh pits along the way, you know? Well, you know, we go through once in a while you get in this mood backstage that you listen to, we listen to what we in Sweden call könsrock, which is basically groin rock or something like that, and I don't know, it's music about poop and sex basically, and it's less dirty, disgusting stuff, you know, just to get a laugh before you go on stage and not to start taking it too seriously. Okay. On a more serious note, I guess it must have been I think it was Beatles' White Album. Just the other night, you know. Yeah, I love the Beatles. Huge fan.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Bonjour.
Bonjour. Ça va?
Ça va très bien.
Hi, this is Johannes from Avatar, and you're listening to... Hi, this is Johannes from Avatar, and you're watching United Rock Nations.